Jana Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradari Jana Valabha Amen. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivraj Gacharya Ashtottara Shata Shishmad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivraj Gacharya Ashtottara Shata Shishmad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Anant Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridasa Thakur Ki Jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री द्वैत गिराधर श्रीवासरि गौर भक्त वृंद की जाय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन की जाय वृंदावन धाम की जाय नावती धाम की जाय मथुरा धाम की जाय जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जाय भक्ति देवी की जाय तुलसी देवी की जाय यमुनामयी की जाय गंगामयी की जाय समवेत भक्त वृंद की जाय all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto. Chapter number 4, entitled The Process of Creation. Text 12. Shri Shuka Uvacha Namaha Parasmai Purushaya Bhuyase Sad Udbhava Sthana Nirodha Leelaya Grihita Shakti Tritayaya Dehinam Antabhavaya Anupalakshya वर्त्मने श्रीशुक उवाच नमः परस्मै पुरुषाय भूयसे सदुद्भवस्थाननिरोधलीलया गृहीतशक्ति त्रितयाय देहिनाम् अन्धर्वभायानुपलक्ष्य य वर्त्मने श्रीशुक उवाच नमः परस्मै पुरुषाय भूयसे सदुद्भवस्थाननिरोधलीलया गृहीतशक्ति त्रितयाय देहिनाम् अन्धर्वभायानुपलक्ष्य वर्त्मने श्रीशुक उवाच नमः परस्मै पुरुषाय भूयसे सदुद्भवस्थाननिरोधलीलया गृहीतशक्ति त्रितयाय देहिनाम् नाम अन्धर्वभाया नुपलक्ष्य वर्त्मने श्रीशुक उवाच
नमः परस्मै पुरुषाय भूयसे
नमः परस्मै पुरुषाय भूयसे
सदुद्भवस्थाननिरोधलीलया
सदुद्भवस्थाननिरोधलीलया
गृहीतशक्ति त्रितयाय देहिनाम्
गृहीतशक्ति त्रितयाय देहिनाम्
अन्तर्भवायानुपलक्ष्य वर्त्मने
अन्धर्वभायानुपलक्ष्य वर्त्मने श्रीशुक उवाच
नमः परस्मै पुरुषाय भूयसे
नमः परस्मै पुरुषाय भूयसे
सदुद्भवस्थाननिरोधलीलया
सदुद्भवस्थाननिरोधलीलया
गृहीतशक्ति त्रितयाय देहिनाम्
गृहीतशक्ति त्रितयाय देहिनाम्
अन्तर्भवयानुपलक्ष्य वर्त्मने
अन्धर्वभायानुपलक्ष्य वर्त्मने
श्रीशुक उवाच
श्रीशुक उवाच
नमः परस्मै पुरुषाय भूयसे
नमः परस्मै पुरुषाय भूयसे
सदुद्भवस्थान निरधालीलया
सदुद्भवस्थाननिरोधलीलया
गृहीता शक्ति त्रितयाय देहिनाम्
गृहीतशक्ति त्रितयाय देहिनाम्
अन्तारभवायानुपलक्ष्य वर्त्मने
अन्धर्वभायानुपलक्ष्य वर्त्मने
श्रीशुक उवाच
श्रीशुक उवाच
नमः परस्मै पुरुषाय भूयसे
नमः परस्मै पुरुषाय भूयसे
सदुद्भवस्थाननिरोधलीलया
सदुद्भवस्थाननिरोधलीलया
गृहीतशक्ति त्रितयया देहिनाम्
गृहीतशक्ति तृतयाय देहिनाम्
Antarbhavayanupalakshaya Vartmane.
अन्तर्भवायानुपलक्ष्य वर्त्मने
Shishuka Uvacha
श्रीशुक उवाच
Nama Parasmai Purushaya Bhuyase
नमः परस्मै पुरुषाय भूयसे
Sad Udbhavastana Nirodha Lilaya
सत् उद्भवस्थाननिरोधलीलया
Grihita Shakti Chitayaya Dehinam
गृहीतशक्ति तृतयाय देहिनाम्
Antarbhavayanupalakshya Vartmane.
अन्तर्भवायानुपलक्ष्य वर्त्मने
Shri Shuka Uvacha
श्रीशुक उवाच
Nama Parasmai Purushaya Bhushyase
नमः परस्मै पुरुषाय भूयसे
Sad Upavas Stana Nidoha Nilaya
उद्भवस्थाननिरोधलीलया
Grihita Shakti Tritiyaya Dehinam
गृहीतशक्ति तृतयाय देहिनाम्
Antarbhava Yanupalakshya Vartmane
अन्तर्भवायानुपलक्ष्य वर्त्मने
Shri Shuka Uvacha
श्रीशुक उवाच
Nama Parasmai Purushaya Bhuyase
नमः परस्मै पुरुषाय भूयसे
Sarudbhavastana Nirodha Lilaya
सदुद्भवस्थाननिरोधलीलया
Grihita Shakti Tritayaya Dehinam
गृहीतशक्ति तृतयाय देहिनाम्
Antarbhavayanyupalakshya Vartmane.
अन्तर्भवायानुपलक्ष्य वर्त्मने
Shri Sukha Uvacha
श्रीशुक उवाच
Nama Parashmai Purushaya Bhuyashe
नमः परस्मै पुरुषाय भूयसे
Sadhu Bhavastana Nirodha Lilaya
सदुद्भवस्थाननिरोधलीलया
Grihita Shakti Tritayaya Dehinam
गृहीतशक्ति तृतयाय देहिनाम्
Antarbhavayanupalakshaya Vartmane.
अन्तर्भवायानुपलक्ष्य वर्त्मने
Shri Shuka Uvacha
श्रीशुक उवाच
Nama Parasmai Purushaya Bhuyase
नमः परस्मै पुरुषाय भूयसे
Sarudbhavastana Nirodha Lilaya
उद्भवस्थाननिरोधलीलया
Grahita Shakti Tritayaya Dehinam
गृहीतशक्ति तृतयाय देहिनाम्
Antarbhavayanu Vartmane
अन्तर्भवायानुपलक्ष्य वर्त्मने
Shri Sukha Uvacha
श्रीशुक उवाच
Nama Parasmai Purushaya Bhuyase
नमः परस्मै पुरुषाय भूयसे
Sarudbhavastana Nirodha Lilaya
सदुद्भवस्थाननिरोधलीलया
Grihita Shakti Tritayaya Dehinam
गृहीतशक्ति तृतयाय देहिनाम्
Antarbhavayanupalakshya Vartmane.
अन्तर्भवायानुपलक्ष्य वर्त्मने
Shri Shuka Uvacha
Shri Shuka Uvacha
Nama Parasmai Purushaya Bhuyase
Nama Parasmai Purushaya Bhuyase
Sadudbhavastana Nirodha Dilaya
Sadhut Bhavastana Nirodha Leelaya
Grihita Shakti Tritaya Yagdehina
Grihita Shakti Tritayaya Dehinam
Antarbhavaya Nupalakshya Vartmane
Antarbhavayan Upalaksha Vartmane Shri Shuka Uvacha Shri Shukadeva Goswami said, Namaha, offering obeisances, Parasmai, the Supreme, Purushaya, personality of Godhead, Bhuyase, unto the complete whole, Sad Udbhava, the creation of the material world, Sthana, its maintenance, Nirodha, and its winding up, Leelaya, by the pastime of, Rihita, having accepted, Shakti, power, Tritayaya, three modes, Dehinam, of all who possess material bodies, Antabhavaya, unto he who resides within, Anupalakshya, inconceivable, Vartmane, one who has such ways. Translation. Shukadev Goswami said, let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who, for the creation of the material world, accepts the three modes of nature. He is the complete whole, residing within the body of everyone, and his ways are inconceivable. Purport. This material world is a manifestation of the three modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance. And the Supreme Lord, for the creation, maintenance, and destruction of the material world, accepts three predominating forms as Brahma, Vishnu, and Shankara, Shiva. As Vishnu, he enters into every body materially created. As Garbho Dakashayi Vishnu, he enters into every universe. And as Kshiro Dakashayi Vishnu, he enters the body of every living being. Lord Sri Krishna, being the origin of all Vishnu Tattvas, is addressed here as Para Puman or Purushottama, as described in the Bhagavad Gita 15.18. He is the complete whole. The Purushavatas are therefore his plenary expansions. Bhakti Yoga is the only process by which one can become competent to know him. Because the empiric philosophers and mystic yogis cannot conceive of the personality of Godhead, he is called Anupalakshya Vartmane, Lord of the inconceivable way, or Bhakti Yoga. Shri Shuka Uvacha Nama Parasmai Purushaya Bhuyase Sad Udbhavastana Nirodha Leelaya Grihita Shakti Tritayaya Dehinam Antarbhavaya Nupalakshya Vartmane. Translation. Shukadeva Goswami said, let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who, for the creation of the material world, accepts the three modes of nature. He is the complete whole, residing within the body of everyone, and his ways are inconceivable.
anyone wants to be successful in any particular field, they have to understand this point, that they are only able to conduct themselves in anything through the senses, or the mind, or intelligence, by the grace, by the will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Without his permission, nothing can be done. Even if one is big, like Brahma. The Brahma Samaya Leela, where Lord Brahma becomes bewildered by the activities of Lord Krishna, is a wonderful pastime that shows that even Brahma, who appears to be practically independent, when Narad Muni was inquiring from his father Brahma about his identity, he said, you seem to be like a spider who creates his own web, his own world. He plays on it, he maintains it, and then he can wind it up within himself. But, he said, it seems that you're not independent because you seem to be dependent on someone else. Please explain. So Lord Brahma explained, yes, that's correct. I'm not totally independent. The Lord gives me some service, but I have to work under his direction always. I have to get his permission to do anything. And as again in the pastime with child Krishna in Vrindavan, and Brahma wanted to play a trick on Krishna by stealing his cows and calves, cowherd boys, and putting them away in his mystic power, asleep somewhere in a cave. Krishna knew exactly what was going on. Even though Brahma's intelligence is so great, the only one that's superior to that in this material world is Lord Krishna. So Krishna understood what he wanted to do, and he wanted to play along with it to expand the joke. Brahma thought he'd play a joke on Krishna, but you can't play a joke on Krishna. So Krishna decided to make the joke at Brahma's expense. He expanded himself exactly as the calves and cows, cowherd boys, who had been stolen by Brahma under his mystic power. They were still there. But Krishna expanded himself to appear like another set. Brahma couldn't figure it out. Brahma almost lost his mind. He was trying to figure it out. He went back to the cave. He said, they're still there. And he turned back to the pasturing grounds. They were still there. They looked the same. Then Krishna gave a nice hint. He turned all those forms of cowherd boys and calves and cows into four-handed Narayan forms. And then Lord Brahma got the clue, something amazing is going on here. So this is a nice example. Brahma, most powerful person in the universe, is always mindful. If he forgets and thinks that I'm the supreme, then he becomes bewildered. He's not able, he's confounded. This happened to Lord Shiva also. In the Garga Samhita, there's a nice description how Lord Shiva gets into a battle with the Yadu dynasty. Long story, but I'll just summarize. And he gets involved in fighting because one of his followers was killed. So he killed one of Krishna's sons as leader of the Yadu dynasty. Then Krishna came personally to the battlefield and confronted Shiva. What did you just do? Why did you do that? And Lord Shiva apologized immediately. He understood. I made a grave mistake. And he said, I'm so fallen, I just got carried away with my false ego, thinking I'm the most powerful person. And I forgot your lordship. Please forgive me. So Krishna forgave him. So there's an example. What to speak of a big leader in the material world, or a big scientist, or a big brain, or a group of big brains. They have no ability to go beyond what he allows them to understand, or to experience with their sense, or to control. If he calls it off, if he decides not to allow them, then a person who's the most dexterous violinist in the world can become paralyzed, and he won't be able to move his fingers at all. So one should never think that I'm independently doing anything. That's why a devotee doesn't take credit for himself. He knows that this is the Lord's mercy. Whatever I appear to be able to do is simply his mercy. Whatever I'm able to understand or speak is simply the Lord's mercy. And if I forget that, then I'll be useless again.
Thank you, Maharaj. Yeah, like this morning, Prabhupada was describing in the Lilamrita that, Krishna is wonderful. And Bhavananda Goswami said, you are wonderful, Prabhupada. And he said, I am wonderful. As long as I'm serving Krishna, right? And then he was going on safe. And if I don't serve Krishna, I'm useless. So, of course, what's so amazing, I've been thinking about this point about the benefit or the potency of sadhu sangha, that sadhu sangha is such, or association with the devotees, and meaning the pure devotees, or those who are coming in, the parampara. Even if we forget, the whole society is based on service, and it's all meant to be received from the authorities. So our services, they're not a concoction, or it's not our own plan. It's meant to be received in the disciplic succession. And there should always be clear lines of authority. And what we have to be humble is that we have to understand that I have a great tendency to forget that everything I'm doing, saying, everything is the Lord's mercy. So I forget, and then I'm instantaneously carried away with my false identification. But the devotees, this association of devotees, is all receiving bona fide instructions from the parampara on how to act and how to engage ourselves. So we may forget that it's the mercy of Krishna that I can sing in such and such a way, or that I can work in such and such a way. But as long as I'm executing that service which was assigned to me by the transcendental parampara system in the association of devotees, then I can be sure that on the strength of the pure devotees who awarded me that service, I can actually make progress towards purification, towards purity myself. So we should be very thankful, and because the devotees, they don't forget, and they don't forget that it's the mercy of Krishna. But, we do have that tendency. So on their strength, we can make advancement towards the pure platform. So Prabhupada mentions here. Okay. So are there any questions? Jagannatha Prabhu?
So I was wondering, in relation to what Maharaj was saying about Brahma being the most intelligent person in the universe, I was also wondering if Lord Shiva is more intelligent than Brahma, because we understand that Lord Shiva has more qualities than Lord Brahma. So I was just wondering if he also has more intelligence than Lord Brahma as well.
I can't answer that question exactly, so I do apologize. That's a good point that you brought up, though, that Lord Brahma is generally a jiva, or a infinitesimal, soul, and Lord Shiva is in his own category. And he, just like Lord Brahma, we as in our pure state, we can achieve up to 78% of the qualities that Lord Shri Krishna has in minute quantity, and Lord Shiva can develop a certain percentage more than us, as well as Lord Brahma. As far as intelligence, I can't comment on it. It says here that the empiric philosophers and mystic yogis, they can't conceive the personality of Godhead. Because they can't, he is called Anupalaksha Vartmane, the Lord of the inconceivable way, or Bhakti Yoga. Right? Bhaktya Mama Bijanati, that Krishna can only be understood by Bhakti Yoga. And he states that the foolish and unintelligent, for them, he is covered by his eternal creative potency, Yoga Maya. And so the deluded world knows me not, who am unborn and infallible. So Krishna is not revealed to the atheist persons who don't accept the scripture and don't engage in devotional service, which is the conclusion of the scripture, Bhakti Vedanta, Bhakti Siddhanta. So if we're interested in knowledge, then we should go to the source of knowledge, which is the Lord Krishna himself, and we should hear from him and then apply his process. And by his inconceivable potency, we're able to understand in part his inconceivable nature. So the devotees, they do that. That's what makes the devotees different. Is the devotees recognize and accept that the Lord is inconceivable. There's some really amazing prayers about this in the Nectar Devotion that we were just reading. And actually, Lord Brahma, on the same point, he ends up praying to Lord Krishna in the 14th chapter of the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is part of that same Leela which Maharaj was discussing. And he describes, after he has been fooled, that the material scientists, they may calculate every atom in the universe. They may understand amazing, quantities of information about this material world. They may, but they cannot understand Lord Krishna, and they cannot approach his devotional service without developing the submissive mood towards the system of bhakti yoga, or the submissive mood, and apply the system of bhakti yoga. So thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees.